Hey, say, but why I can't never talk with my intros? Hey, Slay Bays. We're back with another video, and as the title says, we're going to talk about how much money or how much I should be charging. How much money should we be making? That's always a big topic, and a lot of people don't want to touch on it because they don't want to tell you how much they're making. I don't know. Hey, when you're giving out business advice, when you're throwing numbers out there, I don't think there's nothing wrong with showing numbers to prove a point, to show what's going on, motivation purposes. I'm never here to brag. I'm never here to boast. I'm hoping I can help somebody out because I know what I had to go through when I was trying to get my money game on. So the first thing we're going to talk about is services. With services, the formula I have been told or I like to go with is how much do you want to make an hour? Simple as that. And depending on where you're at in your career, it's going to kind of dictate that number. You might say $20 an hour is a lot. You may say $30 an hour is a lot. You may want to make $100 an hour. Whatever you want to make an hour, that is kind of that's where you start at your base. So for me, I do silk presses. I charge $50. So most of my hairstyles, I charge based on how long they're going to take me. And it takes me an hour to do a silk press. So I don't want to make anything less than that because that is my fastest, quickest hairstyle I can do. Excuse me. And I want to make $50 an hour. So my sewings take me 3 hours. I charge $150. So that is how I base it now. Granted, you have to remember that you have to account for product, any expenses or anything like that. So please remember that when doing your hourly rate or whatever like that. So if it's glue, needles, electric bill, whatever it is, like I pay booth rent. So, those things go into play on how I charge. So I charge by the hour, how much I want to make an hour, plus whatever things I needed to finish that style, whether it be hairspray. Granted, you ain't gonna buy hairspray every client or whatever, but you want to factor all those things in when setting your prices for your services. And then you want to go about the demographic. You want to go around the area. You don't want to be, now I'm not gonna say you don't want to be the highest, because if you give a quality service, so what, you a little higher than the next person. It'd be like, well, why you charge more? Because I provide this and they don't. Or like around me, the typical people, not go typical, please, this is no shade to nobody or nothing like that, but I see the girls, they do the bob quick weaves and they charge, I believe, between $100 and $150 for a quick weave with hair included. Now, when I include hair, I use bundle hair. Like I sell bundles. That's the hair I use. I do not use Beauty Pastel hair when I supply hair. So I may be a little bit more than the next person because they may use Beauty Pastel hair and it's cheaper. But me, I like a more natural look. I don't want it to look stiff after a couple of days because y'all know how Beauty Pastel and her act. So don't act brand new. But y'all know how that goes. So that's why I stand out. So why mine might be a little bit more is because the hair is reusable. Granted, you may cut the wefts or whatever like that, but it's going to last way longer and it's going to give you that sleek, it's not going to be stiff and things like that. So you have to be able to build value into your services. So don't always compare, well, I charge a little bit more than the next girl, but you might be doing more than the next girl. That girl might charge $100, but she don't wash and blow dry, or she don't provide a net if you need a net. Like everybody, I don't use nets because I feel like that's a little more attention, but whatever, add that value to your service so you can stand out from the rest. Because if y'all both charging $100 now, it's gonna be like, okay, well, who you want to go to? Like some people do quick weaves, and I put Morning Glory on mine. That's why I charge a little bit more. If y'all know, Morning Glory is the big bottle, $25. So I can't charge a small amount for a quick weave. And sometimes you have to remember, don't charge about how long, if the style's going to last. You have to charge about how long it's going to take you to do it. So, like frontals. Frontals are very expensive, but they're very high maintenance. So you're going to pay a lot of money to keep up a frontal. Now, that is what it is. And I think almost every hairstylist is going to tell you that. Same thing, like closures are a little more or less maintenance because it's easier to maintain. Because to get these edges to lay down on a regular basis, it's too much. Like, whew, child. The thought of it is stressful. But whatever. So that is how you want to price services. Now, products. You sell hair. You sell edge control. You sell whatever you sell. From what I've seen, and I'm still learning on the learning curve when it comes to pricing products. For most businesses, you're supposed to charge at least double what you bought it for. And that's the product, the packaging, if you decide to take on shipping, or even just shipping fees. Like I require a signature confirmation. That is upon you whether you're going to put that fee on yourself or onto your customer. But signature confirmations are very well needed to prove that you sent it, tracking number, if a dispute happens, anything like that, that's going to cover your ass. But yeah, that's needed. So those are the things you want to think. So once you get there, you might triple, quadruple, like, and then you have to think about, what if you want to do a sale? If you're priced too low, you really can't have a sale. You're not going to make any money. So those are the things you want to keep. So that's what hair, like I said, I named the things, different products you had. If you're going to sell a product, you should be charging at least double. Or if it's something, and again, you have to, demographics, what's around you, different things like that to keep staying competition. Add value to whatever you want to, if you're going to charge double. Like, people talk about Fashion Nova all the time. They charge like 4 times what they purchased it for. But if you notice, they have crazy sales all the time. So they're really not taking a big loss because they're having a 50% off sale. If they bought it for $4 and sold it for $24, like, duh, they made buku money or whatever, like that, as far as their profit margin is concerned. So that's what you want to keep in mind when it comes to doing your price list. So go about, how much, and then go look at other people's prices. There's nothing wrong with looking at your competition, because you have to keep up with the competition. Like, granted, they be like, oh, ain't no competition, woo woo. Yes, it is. Don't let them trick you, sis. It's competition. Go see what sis charge. You need to know. You need to know what you're up against. Now, granted, don't go copying or, whatever, but you need to be aware of your competition. You need to know what's going on in the world and your little circle of, competition. You need to know that. I'm guarantee you Walmart know what Target charging, Target know what Walmart charging, but at the same time, they're in their own lanes, but they know what's going on across the street, if that makes any sense. So know what your competition charging. Know, like, even with hair, like, I've seen people say they bought other people's hair just to compare it to their own. Like, that's a pricey thing to do, but I get the gist of it. If you want your hair to look a certain way and things like that, those things are the things to take in consideration. Packaging is those things are, like I say, the total amount from packaging, shipping from across seas, all that needs to be factored in before you put your profit margin on it, and you need to double it. So double, triple, or quadruple if you can, in your demographic. Like, all those things are things that you have to think about when you're doing your price list. So again, the charge what you're worth is true, but if you're starting off, don't do too much. Be a little modest. You're trying to get out there. You're trying to get known. Like my curling irons. Most curling irons are going for hundreds of dollars. I'm just starting off. I'm like starting out. Like, I wanted an affordable thing for the everyday girl to be able to curl her hair with ease. I didn't want to be like, I think T3, they stuff is like too, like their thing is really expensive. But I'm pretty sure they added some type of value. It has pretty packaging, different, like, and those things I am working on right now. I have standard packaging, I do things that I stay in my lane, y'all. But at the same time, I stand out because why? My curling iron rotates. That's the difference between my curling iron and somebody else's curling iron. And then it's a little more affordable. So you kind of got to know your target audience. Are your audience the luxury or the affordable? Like, I have 2 types of hair. I have affordable hair, and then I have my virgin hair. My virgin hair is a little more pricey because it costs more money to have great hair. So I gave the option to have both. Granted, my affordable hair sells like crazy. And then when people want to save up or they want to do something nice, or that's their regular thing, they get the virgin hair. So you kind of got to play with both. So that's an option too, to have both. To have the affordable option, have the luxury option. But knowing your target market is going to help you price too. So if you are in the area, like I used to be in a suburb that wasn't too hot or whatever like that, and I had people tell me they didn't come to me because of the area I was in. Now I'm a more predominantly financial based type of area. They used to paying on prices, so it's nothing for them to pay that. So it's like being in it. I know I'm like rubbing a mess on my age, y'all. I'm sorry. But the area you're in can dictate how much you can charge. You can't sit here and tell me you're going to charge somebody $300 for a sew-in. You don't wash and blow dry. You in the hood. You smell like weed. You smell like drunk. You got to set an ambiance. If you're going to charge $300, baby, she better know that every penny was worth it. You have to create that experience. I said that in another video. You have to create that experience if you want to charge that amount. Ain't nothing wrong with charging $300. I know people charge $250, $300 for a sew-in. It's possible, but you have to remember you gotta come with your A game. Ain't no slacking, ain't no being late, ain't no double booking. You gotta come with it for you could get that on a consistent basis, that you get a client that's willing to pay that every 2 to 3 months for a sew-in. Or, even silk presses. I've seen silk presses as high as $100, but again, they coming with their A game. Period, point blank. They got the wine, the mimosa, the snack, the fruit, all that stuff. That all goes along with providing that experience. So a person won't feel any type of way paying you. At the end of the day, to build a clientele, you have to get your clients to look at you as a bill. You want them to include you in their budget. Light bill, gas bill, got to get my hair done, got to get my nails done. That's how important you have to be to them for you can be. Because at the end of the day, your clientele should be consistent of a rotation. You shouldn't be getting too many. Once you build a solid book and you booked and busy, you should really be just seeing the same people over and over again because you built that momentum and you built that rapport with them. So that's what you want. You don't want the person that's chair hopping all the time trying to get the cheapest price. But you may get some of those, and you don't, you got people where you got to prove a point. They're going to go to the cheaper person, then come back to girl, they messed my hair up. And then now the other person made you look good because you did a really good job. So all those go into factor when making your price point. So y'all don't overkill now. Me mad my business. So, do your shit, sis. Charge what you gonna charge. But just all I say is if you gonna charge on the high side, make sure you got your game tight. Everything where it need to be at. You got it together. Responding to emails in a timely fashion. Same thing with text messaging, answering the phone. All those things make a big difference. And having some compassion, some empathy, all those. Granted, I got some rules on my list, but I try to be fair. I don't charge a late fee. And I only charge a no call, no show fee. So if you don't tell me you come in, something like that, and you just don't show up, yeah, you getting charged. But I had a girl got into an accident on the way to the salon. No, I'm not finna charge her no call. Be fair. That's what I say, be fair when it comes to your policies. Not to say not to have any, because them clients will try to run all over you. But be fair. Because the main thing that made me not have a late fee is because I might be running late, and I'm not finna discount your services. I ain't trying to be mean, but it's the truth. So that's why I don't charge a late fee. So my thing is, if you over 15 minutes late, you may be canceled or rescheduled. That's it. That's all. And that's up in the air. If I got another client, if I got a busy day, if my assistant there, I may be able to squeeze you in. There's nothing set in stone for the most part. But I do have a policy to kind of groove or group, whatever I'm trying to say, y'all. But yes, so I kind of got off subject a little bit. I apologize. But that is the way you can be able to kind of get a jump start or, try to help you figure out how much you going to make, how much you going to charge, and all those things. So charge what you're worth, but please keep in mind those factors: your target audience, your demographic, your location, and the service you provide. So don't, like I say, charge what you're worth. It's a girl right now, I just found that she charged almost $1,000 for eyebrows, but she's in LA. That's almost the norm. Those things are normal, and because she's in Beverly Hills, different things like that. So you have to remember where you're at and what you can charge. That's why I say be nosy. Go see what sis charging. Because if she charging and she booked and busy, why you can't charge that? Get your money, girl. Chase that bag, secure the bag. All those good things. So I think that is all for today when it comes to what we gonna make. I hope you guys have a great day. See you next time.